Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the K1 Max and how it went printing a large item. Didn't all go to plan. So let's talk about it. Okay, so we've all seen how the K1 Max prints benchies and stuff like that. There's heaps of them online. And it does a really good job printing benchies. But I haven't seen anything rather large. So I decided to get an item that printed and took up as much volume of the printer as I could. And I printed this Star Wars helmet. Okay, that's all one print. Basically all I've done is taken off the supports and that's about it. Just taken off the supports, haven't really done anything else. There are a few issues with it. First things, let's talk about what happened. Okay, first of all, when I was trying to slice it, I thought I'll use Creality's print slicer to slice it because, you know, it's their printer, it's their slicer, it should work better with their printer and give them a benefit of the doubt. So I tried to slice it with their slicer. Did not like it at all. I waited about half an hour and then gave up. It took that long. Now that was with tree support. Once I took tree support off and I just said use normal support, it took about 10 minutes to slice it. But it used up a bucket load of filament in the supports, and it's not really what I wanted to do, and it would have been really hard to get off. Plus it would have taken about 3 days to print. So I decided, no, I don't want to do that. There's way too much filament getting used up. So then I went to Orca Slicer, and I've got a profile that I pulled down off GitHub. I think there's some profiles up there. And I used that on Orca Slicer, and I did manage to get it to slice using tree supports. And it was going to take, now here's the interesting thing, if I used Creality's Hyper PLA, which is the fast PLA, it's meant to make the printer work faster, 20 hours and 27 minutes for this whole, which is pretty fast. Usually it takes 3 or 4 days to print something like that. But I didn't have enough because it's almost a full reel of filament. So I didn't have enough of that filament left to do that. So I decided I'll just use Creality PLA, normal stock standard PLA. And it's going to take 1 day and 9 hours. So that is a difference of 13 hours because of the filament. Both PLA, though one's a hyper, so it's obviously a little bit, it melts a little bit easier, and it's made for these fast printers. 9 hours is a huge difference in a 20-hour print. So using the PLA, it ended up in the end taking 31 hours and 21 minutes to print that to completion. Okay, now, okay, so here's some of it actually printing away. So I put the camera on a tripod and away I went. And I got some little images of it printing away here, where you can see it's slowed down a fair bit for this filament. I did notice when I used the Hyper PLA to print other things, it is super quick. So, well, 9 hours difference is a big difference, isn't it? Well, 13 hours difference, I should say, is a big difference. While it was printing, twice it stopped and told me there was a problem. And would I like to continue? So I gather the LiDAR sensor is what's doing it, but the intel in it said, hey, something's happened. You should have a look and check if it's if you want to continue or not. I decided, yes, I want to continue. I want to see what it's like. So I just pushed the continue button, and I did that twice. And you will see when I show you a detailed look at the print that it's actually had 2 layer shifts. Really, not very big layer shifts, but it's had 2 layer shifts, and I'm gathering that's what it picked up. So it's really good that it picked it up. I could have stopped it then and not wasted all the filament, but I didn't notice it when I was printing. It's that's, you know, it's not a big layer shift, so it's easy enough. I'll be able to easily sand that out and fill it. It'll be a lot easier than trying to, well, a lot easier than trying to glue it. Print another bit and glue it at the layer shift. What else did it do? That's about it. As you can see here, I am taking off the support. Now the support I put so that it was really easy to get off, which is probably what caused a bit of roughness around the underhangs, because I just left a bigger gap than I prefer to have a bigger gap and a little bit to sand off than have it stick like anything and have to try to whack the supports off. That's just the way I print. So it's not a printer problem. That's a I knew it was going to happen problem. Anyway, let's get into having a detailed look at this helmet. So the helmet, I will swap over to my other camera. So the helmet is here. Now, if you want to have a look at the details, I'll get a bit more light up there. Let's have a look. Is that better? Yeah, okay. So, let's have a look at this. There's the layer shift. You can see the layer shift there. Down here, down here. That will sand out really easy, that layer shift, because it's not very big at all. Okay, but the detail in the helmet is really good, and it is smooth as. The only place I can see rings or lines is right up the very top. I don't know if can you see right up the top there? Yeah, see where it's got the you can see the lining there. Apart from that, all the rest of it, there's a little bit at the back there. That'll sand out really easy, but in this part, really good. Now have a look underneath. This is where this is where I mean it's a little rough, but that's because I've pulled the support away. Okay, and I've got a bit under there where I pulled the support. A bit under there where I pulled the support away. So that is it, just because that's going to be really easy to sand and spack up. A lot easier than if the support had stuck and I'm sort of ripping it off and pulling dings and stuff in it. That's a fairly even layer that I'll easily be able to sand. But all the rest of the details, if you have a look at the detail around there. So don't forget, I haven't done anything with this yet. I've just pulled the supports off it. So it's done a beautiful job on this helmet. This is by far the best helmet I've ever printed. Straight off the printer, that is. So it's done a really good job. And don't forget, I'm using Orca slicer, which isn't really tuned for this printer yet. I mean, someone's just bastardized a profile that's on there and made a few changes to things. So for one, I'm not using their slicer. I also wasn't using the fast print filament that they recommend you use for it. So I was just using standard PLA. So for considering those and the fact that I haven't even sanded it, it's done a really, really good job. Okay, I think I'm not sure why Creality's print didn't like tree support. I gather it's because it's something to do with Cura, and they're probably using the earlier version of Cura, because I do know I had a few problems with tree supports on the earlier version of Cura. So Creality, you need to update. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do some tolerance tests on the printers. I've got one printing away at the moment. It's the little toaster thing with all the tolerance tested on the little toaster, the spring-loaded toaster. So I'll print one of them on the K1 Max, and I'll print one on the P1P, and I'll report hopefully tomorrow. It's only a 6-hour print, so, and that's using slow filament. I didn't put the fast filament back in. I might do one on normal PLA. That's what I'll do. I'll do one on normal PLA, one on their hyper PLA, and note the time difference, and then I'll do one on the Orca, the P1P, and I will do that in their preferred filament, so because I've got some of their filament as well, and I'll do that in normal PLA. So I'll have 4 to have a test, have a look at, and see how it goes. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you like any of the content I'm producing, and don't forget to like this video. One other thing, I also plan on doing some different sorts of filament. So I've got some ASA and some ABS and some I think a PA and PP filaments that I want to have a try. I've also got TPU, so I'll get some TPU in and run some tests on the printer to see how they all come out, and I'll do it on both printers, and we can sit there and check out which one does a better job. So at the moment I'm impressed with the K1 Max, and don't forget, as much as I like dear God, what it's going to, the P1P, the Bambu Labs P1P, it can't print this size. So I'm gathering that they're rapidly doing a large area printer. I'm gathering that'll be the next thing that comes out from Bambu Labs, and I no doubt bet that Creality are working on a filament changer, a bit like the AMS system that Bambu Labs has on, because that's the one thing that is beating Creality at the moment, is the fact that you could have a filament thing. Like, I don't use it so much to change colors. I use it more to the fact that I've got a ton, and you probably see a little reel of it there. I had 4 of those of just white filament. 4 of these little pole things just full of filament rolls, yeah, this way, and they were all white because they didn't quite have enough for me to put it in the printer and just leave it and just go and do my own stuff, because it would run out, and not all my printers have filament run out sensors in them. I know I've got to get around. I will put them in all of them, and I will do some videos on putting in the filament run out sensors and making your own instead of buying them, because I make my own. I buy a switch for I think it's $1. I get a model of Thingiverse or printables that holds the little switch, and I just plug it in. Away she goes. So stay with us and keep up to date with the channel, and I will be getting a lot more content out to you guys. Hopefully people are liking it. Okay guys, have a nice day, and I will see you probably tomorrow or the day after with the results of my torrents test.